Hi everyone, it's Tara. Welcome back to Tara's Take. Today is our something challenge and I finally decided what I want to do with these pages, at least part of these pages. I'm thinking clusters. I just thought they'd be a pretty backdrop, and I also, instead of doing like the whole page, I'm going to probably cut this down and do partial, like maybe maybe three across and then three down, and then that way I can still have some backdrop of these. I want to also probably use, I guess I'll just do one for now. I would like to use part of this as pieces on the cluster, on like the opposite ones. So like a piece of this on here, or a piece of this, you know, that kind of thing. These have a lot of similarity. This one does have a lot of similarity. There's more to this one than there is to this one. This is just the butterflies with the script. The script. This has got like all kinds of different little stamps I did on it. It's very, very, very clustery already. Yeah, I'm going to cut this down as well. And then that way I'll use some of it. Let's just go for it with this one first and see what we get. So I got this idea from a couple of people. I mean, I've seen different people do it like this, and I've never tried it this way. So I'm going to do like 3 clusters each. Okay, so like 9. You could get, I saw Roxy Creations, I saw her get, I think it was 5 for a full page. Yeah, so just depends. But I brought along a bunch of different papers. I've got some strips here that I had in my drawer. I have like these little pieces that I have from Tina and different things, that like cards and, you know, the little Tim Holtz things. I've got some stickers from my friend Mary. I've got just a bunch of different goodies. I've got some coffee dyed and food color dyed doily over here. I have some of these little adverts, the tiny adverts. And then I brought along my scrap books, tissue paper, book page, scrap pieces, just goodies. And I meant to grab it. I'm going to grab it. My other scrap box. I didn't grab it because I had put a bunch of stuff on top of it. But this one here is where we did our spiced up strips. And then I've got tissue paper and vellum and all kinds of goodies in there. So let's get started. Let's see. So I was going to go ahead and do some, I think, let's see, what do I want to make my base? This is my base, but I mean, what do I want to put first? I haven't done snippets in a while. I think I'm going to do some of this. These two. They are the faux, what do you call it? I did it, I got it from Natasha. So I'm just going to tear down some of this and lay that down. The way I want to do this is, I want some of my, I want the paper to still show. The fun paper, you know. And so I'm not going to do like, I'm not going to do it to where you can't see any of the paper. I want to make these big enough. I'm going to grab some of this one too. Yeah, I want to make these big enough that I can actually still see some of my paper. when I tear them down. So how's everybody doing today? I am going to be as open as I always am. I am very tired and honestly was not in the mood to make a video. I just wanted to sit on my at my desk and maybe study my Bible, and yeah, that was really where my head was at. And I thought, you know what, you need to get over there and do your video. And I'm just using some glue. I am going to do some sewing later on, so we'll see. So I'm just doing a really light little glue down here on these. Okay, let's see. Just making sure which way is up. These are kind of small pieces. I'm wondering if they're too small, but we'll see. If they get covered, oh well. You know, a corner of them will show or whatever. I'm not going to worry about it. Actually, the star of the show from my snippets is this background paper. I really love it, and I wanted to use it in some way that was a little bit different than just envelopes or a journal card, or, you know, I always do that. I do a lot of backgrounds for my journal cards and tags and stuff, and I thought, well, let's use it in a different way. Okay, so that's what we're doing. I've even got some lace and some cloth ready to be pulled in as well. So, and then I have, like I said, I have all these strips that we did last week or week before last. Yeah, so those are going to be fun. And I was thinking, oh, this is cute. I'm going to use this. Let's see. I like the ruler from Tim Holtz. What was I going to do? Oh, yeah. And I have this from my friend Pamela. And I thought that would be kind of fun to put on some of them. So I'm just going to tear a strip of this off. I've never used any of this for a project, so I'm going to tear it. I was thinking it'd be really cool if you pull it apart and glue it down as a honeycomb, like with bees and stuff. It'd be really cool. So I think I'm gonna cut this down a little bit more. Let's see. Okay. And we are going to do some, like I said, we're gonna do some sewing today on these. I really liked, I can't think of her name, and I hate that. I know her name, but from Roxy Creations, and I really liked how she was doing them. I'm going to put some on some of these. I'm going to do, oops, that's a really big piece. I do not do doilies too often, so I'm not, I'll be honest, oh, I ripped it. I'm not super creative with them. I see Tina use them and they look so cute, and I go to use them and go, you know, I'm like, I don't know if I like how it looks for me. Come on now. For some reason, my glue is not sticking with this paper. For whatever reason that might be. But yeah, I have a tendency to be like, I'm not sure if I like it, you know? But I'm going to go for it this time. And I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to do it. Because it's not going to be all that's there. I am going to do other things, but it'll give it kind of you know, a, what do you call it, laced background. Let's see, get this on the right side. Gosh, these are tearing on me a lot. I'm too rough, I guess. Let's see. So it is Tuesday of last week. You know me, I always record a week ahead. So I'm sure I told you about church in yesterday's video. I haven't done yesterday's video yet. I'm going to leave that so that the flower can still be seen. I just thought that this paper would give like kind of a fun texture. Does not want to stick though with this glue. I don't know what's going on. I just thought it would be kind of a fun texture with the I can't think of the word I'm trying to look for. Okay. And pardon me, because I told you I'm feeling a little discombobulated. I don't know why. I don't think I've slept enough in the past few nights, and it's caught up to me. I slept okay last night, but when my alarm went, but it wasn't enough hours to catch me up from what I had missed the few nights before that. Do you know what I mean? And so today I'm just kind of feeling tired and yeah, a little off. But now I'm going to do a little bit of collaging with some Tim Holtz pieces. I just love these, and I never, hardly ever use them anymore. I don't know why. I've just kind of, they've been sitting over here in my little container and just ready to be used, but I don't know. I haven't been using them, and I'm just randomly putting them. I am going to be, like I said, I'm going to be collaging on top of these pieces. So yeah, see, you can't even see that piece underneath except for a little bit through it. Oh well, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm just not gonna worry about it. It'll be okay in the long run. Let me see. There's so many ways that you can do clusters that it's kind of I went online just to, you know, just kind of give myself a little refresher, looking at other people's ideas, you know. And I had been thinking about doing this type of a cluster page forever because I'd seen it here a while back and I'd never done it. And I thought, oh, that'd be something different, you know, for me, because I've just never done it like that. And then I get on there and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's, you know, when you really think about it, there are so many things within the realm of tags, journal cards, backgrounds, clusters, snippet rolls that we can do that, you know, we'll probably revisit clusters again soon just because I really want to make some, I made one, where is it, earlier, just for fun. I want to do some cloth and lace clusters, you know, just little fun things that you can put on the corner that look pretty on your page. So we'll probably revisit some cloth type clusters as well, because those are so fun. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, here it is. I'm like, where is that strip? So I was thinking, and I'm not going to put the same strips on every one. I just wanted to kind of scatter them around the page, and then I'm going to use something else for the other strips that I do. Oh, here it is. I'm like, where'd it go? I may add some lace also to these because that would be fun. Let me see what I have here. I have these strips that were in my stuff just from other things I've done. There we go. there's a flower right here on this paper. So on that napkin, this was a napkin. So it looks kind of cute right next to it. Where else do I need strips? Yeah, I am kind of distracted today, and I apologize if I'm not being real talkative. I'm going to cut this down the center so I can have some script on it. I was watching, I didn't actually watch the video, but I saw Pam has quite a few cluster videos made out. I noticed, I think it was at least 3 of them that she had that were more geared toward scraps, just total scraps. Gail has multiple as well. Hers range. That's what I was talking about. I was watching and going, wow, you know, there really are so many different ways that we can do this that, you know, make it fun and vary it in our project. So there we go. So I think all of them are covered with that part. So they already kind of look cute without anything else on them, but of course we are not done. I am going to pull in some lace, and I also wanted to try these. They're laying in my little basket over there. And these are just little number strips that I had cut out from different books. And I don't even have a ton of them. Actually, I think most of these I tore out. Let's see. So I'm just giving, you know, just trying to explore little ideas and not, you know, this is not, it's not the end all be all way is my point of doing these. As you guys know, if you've ever done clusters, it's just one more inspiration, one more little idea from somebody, you know, doing them. I'm sure that many of you have your favorite like pattern of how you create your clusters. I'm using these numbers up because I've had these in my bag on top of my other stuff forever, and whenever I open that up, I end up hitting these and knocking them onto the floor and stuff. And I was like, oh, you know what? I could use these in this project, and then they wouldn't be wasted, and they wouldn't be in my way anymore. So I like numbers, and I kind of forget to use them. Another one I was thinking about doing was stamps, you know, like like mail stamps. I thought that would be a lot of fun on clusters. I was actually thinking of doing clusters that were just geared, kind of geared around stamps. Let's see, I got one more. Yeah, one more. All right. There we go. Okay, there's that layer. So these are nice and sturdy, and then once we sew this, it's going to be pretty cool. All right, what was I going to do? I thought that was what I was going to do. I was thinking to tear down some strips from the other pages, and I may not put it on here, but I want to see how it looks. Just kind of torn strips on here. I kind of want these to be grungy in a way and that's why I was thinking of adding some lace and maybe even a button or two. I did see that she did that on her Roxy Creations, and it was funny when she pulled out the lace and the buttons. I was like, oh, I had thought of that already, you know, that I wanted to put those on there. So I watched her do it, and I was like, yeah, I liked her way of doing it. And then I also saw Gail do something really pretty cool Gail Agostinelli, of course, and she was doing, when you've probably seen her do it, when she sewed her strips together, or her clusters, she didn't keep it in the whole page. She had them cut down, and she just sewed them together, boom, 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 and it was really cool. I was like, I like that. I like that a lot. So yeah, I wanted to have some of my other paper on here as well. I just thought it would be kind of cute. And I may stick this underneath, actually, if I can get it there. The lines from the little honeycomb paper or stuff. There we go. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Let me see if I can get it under there. Without tearing the whole thing apart. There we go. Good. Yeah, I really have been hoarding these, hanging on to them, staring at them, going, what do I want to do with these? Oh, this one's not on good at all. It is this, the doily. It's not sticking. But because it's not sticking the way I want it to, I'm going to go ahead and use that as opportunity to glue this down. Okay, and then I'll hit this. There we go. So as you can see, now you can see a piece of that under there, which is my goal. I probably should have done this in the first place, but it's okay. I'm looking to see if there's any other spots I can do this underneath, but I don't think I can. I think I'm gonna have to do it over, actually. There. I love the metallic. All right. And then I don't think I'm going to do the metallic on all of them. I'm going to grab some lace and do a little bit. Yeah. Get a little lace on there. I love this, but I don't know. Let's see. It's kind of wide, and since it's like my last piece of it, I really need to take a trip to Hobby Lobby and see if they still have this lace. I love this. It's just because it's got that coffee dyed look without you having to do anything to it. It looks vintage even though it's technically not, and I love that. That one. I think I'll do this one on another one. It's one of my very favorite laces. Okay, wait, let me hit that over just a little bit. There we go. Okay. Oh, I love this one too. Now this is vintage. This is the real deal right here. The real deal, you guys. No fake stuff. Let's see. I'm going to put that right there. If we can get it to stay. Ugh, it's not wanting to stay. Let's do it directly. On here. Tomorrow, I hope our Wednesday live went well, because for me, tomorrow is Wednesday. And as you guys are going to find out, I'm a nervous wreck. You'll see it on the video. Okay, I'm not a wreck, but I will say this. I'm just like, okay, Tara, don't mess this up. Don't mess up like starting the video right and getting the live thing going. And, I've never done it. I'm just, I hope it worked. And if it worked out, that maybe we're doing it again tomorrow. I mean, I hope. At this point in time, I do not know. Did it work? We don't know yet. I will know by the time you see this, but yeah, I'm just, this is a little precursor for our video tomorrow, our first live crafting session together, our craft and chat. I've already decided, I don't know if I mentioned to you guys before, that I had already decided what we were going to do, so I hope you enjoyed working with our ephemera we've created together over the course of the past year. Oh my gosh, I did a few times have videos where we decorated, and those videos weren't quite as popular, you know, and so I was like, oh, I don't want to bore anybody, so I didn't really do them much. But it's necessary for me to once in a while do that. So I'm thinking if the live thing worked out and we did okay together on it, that I may make that something I try to do here and there. Maybe I'll make it a regular thing. I don't know. We'll see, right? I think I'm going to do a piece of black. I hadn't even thought about it, but I love black lace. Yeah, so yeah, I'm just hoping that everything worked out and we had fun and visited together and got to, you know, all kind of chit chat and talk at once. That's always fun when girls get together and have a party, usually. The biggest blessing would be, of course, if I could have you all here in my living room with me and we could just have a ball, but we do have, you know, time and space that stops us right now in this season of our lives. We're all in different places, but someday, you never know. There's that. I so would love it. I'm thinking gold, you know, me and my gold. I'm thinking, you know, it would be amazing if someday I actually was able to have like a crafting retreat like Gail does. Oh my gosh, that would be so incredible. And I have absolutely no idea how to do something like that. So, yeah. So now I'm thinking how I'm going to do the sewing. What I'm going to do, okay, I think is pull out the machine, because I had to move my machine to under my desk, and I have to do a lot of pulling. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew there down the center of my lace, okay? And then I think I'm going to come around, because I really liked I can't think of her name on Roxy Creations. I really liked her. She did like a circle around the edges, you know, and just went around, and I really enjoyed that. So I think I'm going to do the same thing, and then I'll come back, because otherwise I'm going to have to move everything, and it's going to be loud and obnoxious. And you guys know pretty much how to sew. I'm sure most of you know how to sew your paper. And if not, we'll do sewing in another video. Okay, so I'm going to pause and I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Okay, so I have never done this, but I want you to know, other than one of them where I overlapped on this paper, which I think I can fix, it turned out okay. I really wanted it to be sloppy and not be like perfect around the edges, and I waited to cut this so you could see what I did. So what I did was I did a zigzag stitch down the center, and then I pulled the thread. What I mean by that is I pulled my paper, I lifted the foot of the machine, pulled it to the next one. So I just went from one to the next to the next. I did not remove this paper from the machine the whole time. And then when I was done doing the zigzag, I switched it over to a single stitch. I put it at number 3, and I went ahead and I went around each one of the clusters twice, okay? And I'm gonna try, when I tear these, for the most part, to leave, you know, some of this. One thing, and I remembered her name, Rachel. Rachel had mentioned in her video, I didn't hear Gail say anything about it, but I don't think Gail went around the edges, but when you're doing this, just make sure you leave yourself some space for where you're going to tear your paper. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start cutting these extra strings off first of all, and then we will tear these apart. And I really wanted to do a second one on the other page, but I don't know that I'm going to get to do that today. It's already 30 minutes in on the video, and I don't want to overstay my welcome. Not like I don't always overstay my welcome. I totally don't mean to do that, you guys. You've spoiled me and let me get away with it for so long. You're all such a blessing to me that when I go over, I'm like, oh, my friends won't mind. They're here with me, you know. There we go. I don't know how to craft fast like some people, and I don't like editing out my mistakes. I don't like editing out things like the fact that I sewed over this paper right here, which could totally destroy, you know, one or both of these, but I would rather you see that and see if I can manage to fix it. You've all mentioned to me multiple times that you like it like that. You don't like editing. I watch people's videos, even like Bible study videos or stuff like that, and or people talking about the Word of God, and they edit themselves. And I'm like, I wonder what they really said right there. You know, I wonder what they were saying that they didn't like how they said it, or did they sneeze, or did they, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what happened? So on this one, what I was thinking was that I could take just something like my little cutter here and just kind of cut. I don't know if I could get scissors under here or not. I don't want to cut the thread. You know, this isn't the safest thing. I'm going to try scissors, just a smaller pair. Let me see here. Get out of my way. I'll use these hair cutting scissors, my little Walmart hair cutting scissors that have been demoted to paper scissors because they were no longer cutting hair correctly. Let's see. Doesn't look like they're cutting paper either. Not very well. I just wanted to separate where I had sewn over this paper, because then I can hopefully maybe pull this piece out from this one and just have this as the edge on the other one. This last little bit, I don't want to rip it. Okay, I need a little bit smaller scissors even, I think, but do I have anything here that might, I have these little, I just need something to reach up in there and kind of rip. There we go. I got it. I got it. Okay. So what I was thinking was to just pull this paper out, hopefully, from the stitches without tearing the stitches. And it is cardstock, so it's a little bit thicker, so it may change the stitching around this edge, but we'll see. Yeah, the paper tore. I don't know if I'll be able to salvage it, but we'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to trim. And as you can see, these paper, now when I was sewing this, one thing I noticed was that I did have to trim the ones that I did this zigzag. There were some times when I was circling over, I needed to trim those in the middle, otherwise I was going to sew on top of them and have a little bit of a hassle later on. So it's something to keep in mind. I think that's it for the front, and then I'm just going to trim the backs and separate. You want to make sure that you go in and separate. See how it went over the thread? That's what I'm talking about on the back side. So yeah, since these are going to get glued down, I'm gonna be kind of generous and leave, because I did not backstitch and like seal the deal on these, so I'm gonna leave just a little bit of thread. But you do want to make sure you separate where you had those pieces overlapping, because you won't be able to tear it because of the thread. Okay, so yeah, I'm just leaving, like I said, just a little bit of the thread, because the only one that's actually backstitched is that first one I did. Had some backstitch on it, and that's it. Okay. a little messy, but you know what? It was kind of fun to not be, I wasn't worried about pulling it out, putting it back in, pulling it out, putting it back in. And I also wasn't worried about if it was perfect circles. And that was kind of freeing. You could even probably use, what do you call it? The free hand, the free flow stitch foot for something like this, if you wanted to, and go around those edges and make it really wonky. I like wonky. Do you guys like wonky? I think we all like wonky. We're junk journalists. We like wonky, right? I know that I didn't like wonky, or didn't think I liked wonky as much until I started junk journaling. I could tell you that. So there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to do that one last. Now here I didn't cut it apart where I had that thread that was running down the center, and so it got caught. That's what I was talking about. Okay, so we're going to tear between these, and I hope I left myself enough space. I don't want to tear my stitching is why. I didn't leave myself as much space as I had hoped. So the next time I do this, I actually might use the full piece and then do the three, just do 3 rows again, because I want this. I like the backdrop paper, unless it's paper that's boring and I don't really care about it, but I also want to have enough space between each one of my clusters to tear without ripping. So there we go. We have a cluster. Isn't that cute? I hope you like it. I like it. I think it's adorable. And I am going to put a little bit more glue since I'm done with my sewing now. Just a touch here underneath, make sure this is glued down. And then, you know, what you can do now is you can add, you know, something cute. Let's see. I had some, gosh, I had some flowers here. Or we could do like, you know, like a little bow on top and stuff like that. A butterfly. You could even do an applique of a flower, or you could do some flowers, you know. Okay. Gotta leave myself enough space here. I guess the one thing I can remember though is when I'm tearing these, if I'm leaving myself that middle ground, this can be the edge for this one too, so it won't hurt too much. But you just have to be kind of careful about how you separate them. But see, now you can still see my background paper, which is what my whole point was. I wanted that to still show. Okay. Okay. All right. Now this I did not cut, so we're going to go back here. There we go. And we're just going to take off the jaggedy parts. Kind of even out our little circle here. Oval, circle, I don't know. It's kind of a little mix. But yeah, I like how these turned out. These will be fun to sit, you know, to put down on a piece of paper. Now on this side, I did tear a little bit close, as you can see. So you gotta be mindful. And I would advise now, from my own mistake, to use the whole 8.5 by 11 or A4 sheet, you know, your whole piece, so that when you do this, now Rachel obviously does these a lot, and plus she is, you know, we all know she is an amazing seamstress. So she's, you know, she's really good. I think I've watched her do some pretty cool stuff, and I of course am not a seamstress, and we know this. I don't claim to be. So her experience level shows up in the outcome of her clusters. Okay, now this one I'm just gonna have to probably scrap one of these. I don't know, we'll see. Maybe not, just because it'll be glued to a page, so it's gonna hold it together more or less. But this edge right here is very, very wobbly. And then of course this edge, because I don't want a strong sharp edge, I am having to tear it, and it is super close to my threading. I got a little cray-cray at times. My foot got a little bit overzealous and I had to pull back. Yeah, it's all right. It's not too bad. As long as it stays together until I can get it glued down. That's really all I'm worried about. I don't know about you, but, you know, things that are looking like they're wobbly, I don't really trash them because I go, okay, as long as you stay together, once I get you glued down, it's not going to matter anymore. You know what I mean? It's not going to show. It's you'll stay together at that point because the glue will seal the deal, you know. You guys, I just want to say thank you again. I mean, after not being in the mood to do the video, being tired, having a headache, not feeling good, blah, 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 I feel better, as usual, talking to you guys. It's just, you know, praise God for my friends. I love you guys. I do. I love you guys. Seriously. You always cheer me up. All right. These came apart nice. Now, I've got a little bit of a tight squeeze right through here. A little bit. Gonna have to be mighty careful. Oops, and this is still together. Shoot, forgot to cut it. This little piece here. So of course it's pulling for me when I'm trying to tear that. There we go. And so we're gonna continue. I think we made it. We did. We made it okay. Praise the Lord. Thank you, Lord. Oh, how many times a day do I say that to him about something I'm working on, and I know I'm gonna mess it up, and I just cry out to him, and it just comes, it comes together all of a sudden, and I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord. I mean, I know it's you because just 2 minutes ago it was tearing, it was doing this, it was doing that. I'm serious. You know, if anybody out there thinks that the Lord does not care about the little stuff in our lives, I am a testimony to the fact that he really does. See, I really like that you can still see my spiced up papers behind there. I like that a lot, because then the paper that you have as your foundation is also designed. You know, it's not just a plain blank coffee dye paper, which is fun. It's not a big deal, but it's kind of cool, you know. Oh, you know what we should do? We should do some vintage book images as a background for our, because those papers are usually, the pages are usually pretty thick, the ones that have images, and they'd be colorful. You know what I mean? That would be a fun one, huh? Let me know what you think of that idea. I think that sounds like it might be kind of a cool cluster. Now this one, I know what I did. This one, I ended up overshooting my sewing, like way over here. So when I tear this, it's going to have to go right through here. I'm not gonna have a choice but to cut this thread a little bit because of what I did. Yeah. That was my first time I realized my foot was too heavy for my experience. Does that make sense? I mean, I was going way too fast, and I didn't have the experience of sewing on all these different clusters on one page. Now, the next time I do it, praise the Lord, I will have a little more experience now, and I will maybe be a little better at it. Let's hope. This one's gonna get torn down a little bit more, but it still looks adorbs. Look at the butterflies showing right there. Yep, one more left. What time is it? Almost 45 minutes. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay. And I'm thinking, there we go. And because this is such grungy paper, I'm gonna look here. Let me see, what do I got? I've got, you wanna look a little bit closer. Let me get a little closer for you guys. So there's one, okay. And there's one. So we got 2, we got 9 altogether. Let's see, is this one? Oh, here we go. There's the one with the black, and then the one with the gold. I like that one because you can see the rose. And here's this one. And this one. I love the wonky thread, I do, and I never do that hardly, and I don't even think, I'm trying to think if I ever do it. I don't really ever do it. I just love it. And I don't get to sew as much as I want because my, because of my setup. I really like this one. I don't know why. The combination of the lace, the numbers, just the whole swirly going down there. I like the way this one looks. And the last one is this one. And this one's kind of bizarre because I did the white, but it does have the pink rose right here. And I'm thinking, because you know me, a distress queen over here, I'm thinking that all I gotta do is just hit this with a little bit of, my distress ink and just kind of get rid of the white. There we go. And then I'm wondering how it'll look with some darkened edges, because we did tear this paper. Yeah. Where's that one? This one. Let's see. I'm thinking that my little paper dolls, you know how I love them. You guys were cracking me up on our Facebook the other day when you were saying that a couple of you were saying that they scare you. I love you guys. You're so cute. I was laughing. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I use them all the time. You guys are probably like, ugh, stop using those. I'm sorry, but I love them. I love them so much. I just think they're adorable. No, I was thinking... What was I thinking here? We've got, oh gosh, I love words, right? We know that. We've established that. I was thinking that we could either do, oh, and where's my pad? What'd I do with it? Oh, here it is. These are smaller, so they might even fit a little better, Let's do this one. Let's see. I'm gonna do a little bit of edging here. And I'm just, just thinking of ways that we can add stuff to these. Like we could do little butterflies. Like I said before, you could do flowers. You could do, just little additions. You could do little plank. I've got those little mini playing cards that I never end up using, and they're so daggone cute. And I just wish I'd use them, but yeah, they could be something that would go really cute on these. Let's see here. I'm gonna put the moment down here, and then this one was just stuck on my other finger. That's why I didn't do it first. And then I'm gonna do this for this moment. I love that. Love it. Oops. Even it out. Even it. And of course, let's just give it a shot, right? My gold, Miss Pammy, she called me my fancy schmancy stuff. I was laughing. I'm like, yep, it's true. I do love my fancy. I got to loosen this up. It seems like maybe it dried a little bit. There we go. I love framing with gold. Can't help myself. I love it, especially with vintage. I just think it adds a flair of vintage to our pieces that otherwise they just don't have. Okay, so there's that. And then let me see. I have my little people here. And they would just fit so perfect on here. Let me see. Look at him. He's so cute. Okay, he's the one. I'm putting him on there. I just like him. I've been wanting to use him and I haven't because the time hasn't, been there, but I'm just aging him a little bit here so he matches the rest of the pic, the rest of the background. I run some vintage photo over it with my dauber, like you guys have seen me do, but some of you might be new. And then I just kind of rub the ink in off of it a little bit so it's not so yellow. But I don't like that bright white, black and white look. Sorry to repeat myself, but I do that just for the new people. There's never assume there's not someone out there new who hasn't seen you do this before. Okay. I could even do a little backdrop of my woody pencil actually down here, but let's see. I'm going to use a brush. Where's my favorite one? Looking. Okay. And I am going to squirt some water on my table over here. And instead of putting it on there in the first place, okay, I'm just wetting my brush and I'm gonna just hit this tip, okay, like that. Just to get some black on my brush, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of scooch down here so it looks like he has some type of base he's standing on, as we've talked about, since I didn't do it before I stuck him down. Okay, not heavy, doesn't have to be super heavy or anything. Just a kind of a smoky look there, like there's a little bit of ground in the background. And then I come back in and do it too heavy. It's okay. Doesn't matter. No biggie. All right. There is a decorated cluster. Aren't these cute? I really like how these turned out. These are fun. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you have fun doing your own clusters this week. Can't wait to see your work on our Facebook group. As I always tell you, if you're not a member of our Facebook group, please come over and join us. It's Creatives Inspired Corner. There is a link in our About section here on the channel, and there's also a link in this video at the bottom. For any of the supplies I've used, I've tried to add all of my supplies as much as possible to my Amazon list that is also linked in the bottom of the video. And if you like this video, please hit like and maybe make a comment or shoot me a little heart so that it gets it into the algorithm. And also, if you enjoyed spending time with me today, please come join me again by becoming a subscriber and being a part of the Terrace Take family. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.